right, because this was gonna make it a very, 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 very long video, I had to separate. So I'm gonna give a good rating on all of the seasons and episodes of The Haunting Hour, everyone. The Haunting Hour is so good. Performed by Jenny Cassidy, Lily D. That is interesting. So is she a little guy or what? And it's like, I would so like to see. Well, anyways, so we got Really You Part 1 and Part 2, the groundbreaking first freaking episode they released. And it looks like they released it close to Halloween. So they had this released, and oh my gosh, man, that was so glorious. It was so beautiful. This is like the first one that straight up got me, and I was like, oh man, it was so good. And let me tell you, I bet this had so many kids scared as hell. I mean, Goosebumps was scary, but it wasn't scary. Because, well, later years, it got even more advanced to how scary they can become. Now, freaking Haunted Hour, I know for a fact I can't actually have kids checking this out. Wait a minute. Yeah, wait a minute. Really, I guess really you. Whatever. But anyways, yeah, so Lily D bust the scene. That was the first one that started. Jenny Cassidy. I guess I need to find who that is and shake her hand. Next is A Creature Was Stirring. And this one actually is a Christmas episode. This one was supposed to actually be an episode, well, actually a video I would have made, but I think most likely the laptop of what I already had, the laptop got killed. I think it was something like that. I think the laptop got killed and I wasn't able to actually publish this. So that's why you don't see it. And if I did do it, well, yay, but I think I didn't get the chance to do this. I had such a riot on what the hell happened on this. The fact that Santa actually used Grampus or some gremlin to actually screw over a family because of what Timmy wrote to him for Christmas. Timmy's wish, which was getting his parents back together. That is some serious bull crap. It's like, Santa, you bastard. That is some bull crap. And yeah, so that was really, if I would do it, I would most likely call Santa a big fat bastard and everything. But anyways, next is The Dead Body. Now, The Dead Body, this was just basically the whole deal of a new kid coming to school, the fact that there is some shady character. Then we find out that a shady character actually was killed, and he actually wants to replace himself with the new character, the new guy in school, Will. Wait. Yeah, so basically Will got screwed over, turned into a ghost while Jake is able to live the good life. And everyone, I bet there was such a freaking damn riot. I was like, oh, damn. There's so many people I bet was out there rioting on how it ended that they actually had to make a sequel to this. And a sequel took a long time coming, but they had to do a sequel because lots of people didn't like what happened in the end. Next is Nightmare Inn. And Nightmare Inn is where she's forced to face her fear of the creepy inn, where the staff is keeping a secret. At night, the staff in the inn were revealed to be werewolves who wish to devour her. She was saved by another werewolf who turned out to be her father. I kind of don't remember that one. That one actually would be a good one to actually check out again. Yeah, that would be one that I kind of need to check out again. Next is The Red Dress. The Red Dress kind of pissed me off. I'm sorry, The Red Dress, there's some that actually were good, some that was upsetting, and some that pissed me off. The Red Dress pissed me the freak off. Because you had this girl named Jamie, who is kind of hot. She is technically hot. And she did steal the dress, but she actually wanted to give the dress back. So, what she was going to do is give the dress back after what she did, but instead you didn't give her time to do it. And instead you're like, I got her glasses. Now I'm going to turn her into a blind girl because she stole my freaking dress. It was like, idiot. Stupid damn old idiot. I know she was wrong for stealing it, but if you would have gave her time to actually give it back, which that's what she was gonna do, then most likely you would have your freaking damn dress back. Yes, I know, everyone must pay. I know, but oh, freaking jeez, man. I mean, that one pissed me off. That was one that pissed me off. Now, this is one that kind of reminds me. So, this one I really got reminded was the whole ghostly stare. And this one was good. This one was very, very good. I bet this one actually rivals some of the other ones. Like, I bet Fear Street would have got rivaled by this one. And, of course, some of Goosebumps actually would have been rivaled by this. But anyways, you have Laura and Mark who learn that the cemetery are disturbed and not everything stays buried. So they basically went to the, basically you had the freaking Lauren, she was obsessed with cemetery stuff, which I knew a friend who actually is like that. And they actually went into the freaking cemetery. Something happens. Mark gets replaced by some ghost. And then Lauren had no choice but to look for Mark. And as soon as she did, she found Mark. And the whole thing was a deadline. It's the fact of before sunup. As soon as sunup happens, whatever happens stays. So that means if one ghost, if you fell into someone's coffin, someone's grave, then the ghost is able to take your freaking life and continue on with your life while you are now dead in the grave. So the good news is that she saved Mark, but yeah, in the end, it turns out Lauren got screwed over. Yeah, Lauren got screwed over, and a ghost named Alice Claiborne or whatever turns out to be Lauren, because there's one tagline all ghosts say: "I'm so cold." As soon as they say that, it's like, oh. So this one was actually very, very remarkable. This was actually the one where it had a shocker ending, where I was like, oh, dip. I wasn't sad by this. I wasn't sad at all. I was just like shocked. That's all. Now, Red Dress, the one previously, got me just super pissed off. Some are shock values, and I'm like, okay. And some is like the Red Dress where I'm pissed off. Next one is called Walls. And this one, if you actually went to the website, Hub's website, they actually had behind the scenes and everything else on this one. This one was kind of interesting. So you had a Clement who actually was living in this new house everyone was living, they moved into. And what was the idea was that the Clement actually was going to give them riches beyond they could see. And sadly, the Clement, he actually lived in the son's wall, which is bullcrap. So the son got pissed off. The son was about to kill his ass. And then the freaking parents were like, no, don't do it. He was going to give us lots and lots of money. He's like, don't do it. He'll give us good fortune. That's weird. Whatever. He was going to give us good fortune and everything. And then it was like, well, the kid decided, yeah, because the kid is now the man. The kid actually was able to straight up say to the parents, listen, if we're going to live in this house, you're going to do it my way. Because if not, I'm going to kill that Clement. And they're like, okay, we do it your way. So now he gets to live in his parents' room while the parents have to suffer in his room where the Clement is. So that's one thing that's kind of funny. And he's pestering them for syrup because he has a sweet tooth, a strong sweet tooth. So yeah, that's kind of funny. It's like, well, you guys got screwed over in the first place. You were screwing over your son. So now I would say that's okay. I'm okay with that ending because you were kind of screwing over your son. Next one is the freaking episode called Game Over. Now this Game Over, which is kind of crazy. And let's see, I'll just say the interesting part has to be the freaking person who actually is orchestrating this game, even though I bet he got trapped in the game as well. But anyways, this guy who actually is orchestrating the game is none other than a freaking SPD, Emergency Red Ranger. That's right, a freaking Power Ranger is a bad guy, which that did happen before. Apparently, Tommy played as a bad guy in Family Matters. Crap. Be right back. Well, anyways, in this game called Game Over, in this episode called Game Over, what happens is the fact of you had a tournament going on, and whoever wins the game gets a fabulous prize, aka getting trapped in the game. So this one, I didn't really care because Kalerazor, aka Kelly, he was a jerk anyways. It's like he was a freaking damn jerk anyways. So I'm like, I'm okay with it, but I kind of feel a little bit sad for him, and I would kind of would like him find a bigger the D bag to find replace him. It's like, yeah, you should find a D bag who talks a lot of crap, who treats people like crap, and doesn't know how to play video games. If you can do that and make him win this game, then it'll be kind of cool, because then he'll be stuck forever until he actually gets better at the game, which, yeah, right. Next one is the interesting one, Alien Candy. Oh my gosh. Now, Alien Candy is the weirdest one in all. So what happens in Alien Candy is that you have Walt, who actually is obsessed with aliens, along with his best friend Timmy, and basically new 8th graders show up, Bonnie and Greg, who turns out to be freaking damn aliens, and they wanted to eat people. And the reason why it's called Alien Candy, because they have this candy that they give to their victims that they don't know, but it tastes sweet, and it actually makes them edible for the aliens. Now, one thing that's kind of funny that lots of redhead is going to be pissed off / happy about is that these aliens can't eat people who are redheaded and or have freckles. So you have this awesome thing that's like, yeah. So anyways, they do defeat the aliens in a way. Yeah, so yeah, redheaded. That's what I thought. Okay. And they defeat the aliens by using salt. But of course, one thing that did happen is the fact of one of the aliens, their hands actually got cut. Yeah, one of their fingers actually got cut off. So that's the real horrible part. That it turns out that the cafeteria cook accidentally baked the aliens' melted bodies. All their melted bodies. So all of it went into the chicken nuggets batter. Ew, everyone was like, this is good. But you see in horror, and we're all like, oh, God. Ugh. Oh, damn. Damn. Yeah, so this one was actually an interesting one. I guess we're going to have to split this in lots of freaking segments. So, well. Well, anyways, number 11. Fear Never Knocks. Oh, yes, I remember this. This was the one where I actually was kind of like a little bit pissed off because I had to do some crap. I actually had a gig that paid me like $300 or something. So I was missing this one. I think I kind of actually saw it, but I had to see it later to understand everything. But yeah, this was interesting. So you have this psychiatrist who was an awesome psychiatrist, but he made a deal with fear. I think so. I think that was it. Yeah, he made a deal with fear, and what he did is have this box. And every time he winds the box and stuff, it actually dragged their fear and put it in there. So, oh my gosh, yeah. So I didn't miss that part that they just pointed out. Is that so? The box had a lot of fear in it, and the freaking fear dude wanted to take that box and unleash it to the freaking world. But luckily, you have Jenny who tricks fear into sucking into the box by saying she was afraid of fear itself. And the box got destroyed or disappeared, and fear most likely is gone as well, stuck in a box. That was some good planning. This was a good happy ending. So for anyone who actually is taking account, this is a happy ending, and you should take a nice little drink. This one actually is one that actually is good. Next is Best Friends Forever. So, this is the twist ending. This is the twist freaking ending that I was like, what the yeah, so what happens is Jack accidentally raised a zombie from the dead. But instead of getting help, he kept it as a pet, and he had some good fun time. But then eventually, the zombie went somewhere, and he was looking for the zombie, or maybe it was the zombie who was taking him to someplace. But anyways, it turns out, and this was kind of like the kooky Goosebumps like twist. Yeah, Haunting Hour is their own man, but when it comes to actually twists like this, I just take a look and say, you could have just threw this in Goosebumps. Just throw this in Goosebumps. This technically isn't really. I mean, it fits Haunting Hour, but personally, if you think about it, it's more like this one should have just been tossed into Goosebumps as a brand new story. This one didn't really deserve to be an episode. This one is kind of one that kind of pissed me off, slash, was like a total what. But anyways, like this thing says, in the end, the zombie kidnaps Jake, and Jake becomes the pet of the zombie. So the zombie actually has a family, and he actually, so it's like, what the hell? I think I heard a story about this before dealing with a deer, but I kind of forgot where it was. But anyways, next is the Black Mask. So the Black Mask actually is kind of a kindred spirit to Say Cheese and Die in a way, which I forgot what their names are. Let me look right quick because I still have to watch Haunted Mask 2. Their names are D Mia 83. But anyways, I don't know how to say it. I feel tired right now. I don't feel like putting my brain in top gear. So anyways, I would actually tell them about this freaking episode because they were talking about Say Cheese and Die, and just get their opinion about it, because this technically is a kindred spirit to Say Cheese and Die. But instead of having a camera, it's a mask. And the mask tells of a very bad past. So the kids set off to change the past of the kids that they believe died, but it turns out in the end, the kids were seen through the mask was actually Julie and Billy themselves. The man they believe killed them was actually just a handyman who was trying to fix the furnace. The mask enabled their friend Robbie to save the handyman when an explosion in the furnace causes the beam they thought would crush them to fall on him. And Robbie shoves both himself and the handyman out of the way, and they all realize that the mask shows the future instead of the past. Yeah, I guess I should actually put a tagline. I'll put the tagline in the beginning that this most likely will spoil. But hey, this series is just so good. Even if I tell you what happens, you gotta see it for yourself to enjoy it. Next is number 14, Afraid of Clowns. Now this one, if I was a total jerkbag, I would say this goes in the Goosebumps category as well. But if they actually make this fit well in Haunted Hour. So anyways, we have Chris, who is an antagonist who doesn't like clowns. He actually is afraid of clowns. And he has a strange feeling that the local carnival clowns were stalking him. And it turns out that in fact they were stalking him. And here is the crazy twist that you seriously gotta watch the episode to enjoy. It's the fact that the parents were clowns, and they have been clowns forever, and now he is a clown. So he basically gets not adopted. He basically gets into the family business, and now he has to face his fear, or basically become a total kid who is completely traumatized. And most likely, if you ever seen any murderous clown, I think you have a murderous clown right here who's going to kill other clowns, because eventually he either will come out of craziness, or heck, I bet chances are the freaking carnival will get, someday the kid's gonna get a gun and just straight up go every single clown he sees, even his mom and dad, and just go because he's just out of it. I mean, come on, your fear, and it turns out you are. It's kind of like a blind dude that's afraid of black people, even though how can he know? And then it turns out all along he is a black person. It's like, oh my gosh. Yeah, it's like, oh my gosh. But anyways, that one didn't piss me off. That one was interesting, and it was like a funny end that I feel sorry for the kid, but it was kind of funny to see that happen. Next is My Sister the Witch, and you have a Boy Scout named Pete, and his sister has been away at boarding school, Alice, and his friend Reggie believes that she's a witch, and it's revealed that she is a beginner witch. Oh, she met a beginner witch named Edith at a boarding school who told her she was cursed. She has suspected it was the curse that started misfortune and steals wealth and everything else. And it ended up it was being William, which William was an older Boy Scout who vowed revenge on Alice after reading one of his love notes aloud, so he would leave her alone. Of course, it was a freaking battle, magical battle, which was short and turned him into a frog. Now, I do have to say this was a good episode, but the worst part about it has to be the fact of you read his note in front of everybody. Of course, I know most likely the girl's going to be here and saying, but he didn't leave him alone. He didn't leave her alone. No means no and everything. But I was still like, but that's messed up. That's like the shameful thing to do everything. I mean, if I was in the shoes, I would try my best to do everything possible, or at least show my worst part of myself. So most likely the girl is horrified, which that's what happens. I mean, it's kind of funny too. It's like if I tell them the full truth of anything, girls run away from me. It's like you just tell them the truth and they just run away. They become silent. So the truth is what girls are afraid of when it comes to me. The truth. So you could just, I guess she did tell the truth, but hey, boys are harder to get rid of, I bet. I think boys are harder to get rid of. Even though there is some homo dudes who actually hit on me too, and I was able to get rid of them easily. Yeah. And the funny part is that I just basically said, I was being funny. I was being myself. I was like, dude, I promise I didn't hit on your girlfriend. She came on to me. And the dude never replied back. It's like, dude never replied back. So I'm like, eh. So you see, it's not hard to really get rid of dudes. It's not really hard, girls. You don't have to shame guys. It's not that hard. I did it. It's like, yeah, I did it. Why don't you guys? Oh wait, I guess yeah. Boys are hard. Boys are hard to freaking get rid of. Sadly, I'll say that boys are hard to get rid of. But if you are a boy, they're freaking able to. You're able to get rid of them very, very easily. Anyways, yeah, get off that topic. Now we're on to wrong number. Now, wrong number was an interesting thing where you have two girls who made fun of one girl, and they were both mean girls, and then they did a prank call, and the prank call just so happened to a lady that, yeah, so the lady was basically telling them, you better be nice, girls, and then she died the next day. And then she kept on, yeah, then you have Stacy, one of the girls, main person, who gets freaking text messages from the same old lady who supposedly died. And of course, the same text message was just say, be a good girl, be a nice girl. So they basically asked Constantine for help to get rid of Mrs. Ghost, who are protecting. And Constantine then gave the girls leaves to spread around the room and stuff. And then something. And the ghost and attack the girls and wear all that stuff. And Stephanie is very mean, apparently. And then the cool part is that, well, Stephanie is the head leader, and you have Taylor, who is technically the backup girl. She let the backup girl go because she does have a good heart. It's just that, yeah. So anyway, Stephanie gets trapped in a video in a cell phone, and she sends it to her granddaughter, who is in cahoots with Constantine. So yeah, it got so screwed the freak over. And then as the episode ends, Andreea deletes the video of Stephanie effective erasing her from existence, saying she won't ever mess with her again. She'll never ever mess with her again or something. Oh yeah. Well, anyways, yeah, that one I was okay with, but the thing is that Andreea, you kind of stooped to their level, though. I mean, you weren't bullying them or anything, but heck, you didn't stoop to their level. You just climaxed the bigger level. It's kind of like you basically, they just shoved you and you stubbed your toe or you got a freaking scratch on your knee that caused bleeding, and you came back later with a freaking knife and stabbed her in the back, which I knew a girl that's like that, and the girl should have backed off. It's like, seriously, the girl should have backed off. It was just me and her, not you. You were just I don't even. So you're her friend or some kind of crap. But anyways, yeah, it was seriously. I mean, don't get me started with what happened back then. But anyways, yeah. So next we got Catching Cold. Now Catching Cold was weird as frick, and technically Catching Cold is just like Game Over, but instead of Game Over where you had video games, Catching Cold is basically having ice cream every single day for the rest of your life, free ice cream. So you basically have this Marty guy, and he enjoys creamy cold ice cream. He got obsessed by it, and then a mysterious creamy cold ice cream truck seems to haunt his neighborhood and always managed to elude him. And a local mailman told him the story of a boy, Jimmy, who was obsessed as well, and he caught the truck but vanished and never was seen again. So Marty was able to stop the truck eventually, but there was a freaking twist ending. Which, hey, the twist ending would be, well, the funny part is that if you want to make it truly horror, then technically you would say it's more the fact of whoever is driving that truck abducted freaking Jimmy, and, well, you know how it is, you know, pedophilia and crap. But, yeah, this is a freaking kids show, so, yeah, you know it wasn't like that. So it turns out that, oh, man, the creamy cold wants involves the payment of his soul when he encounters Jimmy. So Jimmy is older now, and he ends up trapped inside the freezing ice cream truck until someone else becomes crazed and wants that ice cream and catch that truck and replace him. So yeah, as you can see, that one was okay, but technically it's kind of bad. It kind of really is bad, but I was okay with it. I thought this said how many freaking episodes? Okay, good. A few more left. Next, you have Pool Shark. Pool Shark, I'm just going to shoot count blank. This basically is a relation to Hawaii and their anthology. I guess that's how I say it. But anyways, yeah, so it turns out, same thing as freaking Afraid of Clowns. It turns out the freaking boy actually is a freaking shark. And yeah, he was afraid of sharks, afraid of water, and it turns out he found out he was a nanue, which is a freaking creature that is a shark in the water, but human on land. And he actually gave a girlfriend a ride, and also he scared a guy who was bullying him as well at the end. There you go. That was an interesting thing. That was kind of the last episode. I think this was the last episode ever to be on the Hub website, because Hub used to have like all the episodes, and then they had like previous episodes, and they had like the actual episode they had and such like that, and then they stopped. So yeah, Lights Out happened later, and that wasn't on Hub. They stopped doing that. That was a dumb idea. But anyways, Lights Out, you had Teddy, who didn't believe in ghosts, and then he watched ghost shows and stuff. So he and his friends actually decided to prove that it was fake. The whole ghost experience crap was fake, and they want to make it realistic and crap too. So they went to a supposedly haunted asylum. Yeah, that was dumb. And then it turns out that all this time, yep, there was ghosts, and there was a ghost of Dr. whoever, and he wanted to do an operation on Teddy. Oh, frick. And he was like, oh, frick. And, oh, man. Woo! So all the kids technically got screwed over in this one. And the funny part is that this is also, again, another one where it was sequence. So I don't really know for sure that the previous ones who did a ghost chase did it and they got screwed over, and then yeah, so I don't know. It's like a domino effect. This is like the third or fourth one that's like that. But anyways, yeah, so you had this domino effect happen. Next is the Perfect Brother. Now, the Perfect Brother is most likely the brother or kindred spirit, yet again, or step kindred spirit of the Perfect School. Which, sadly, the Perfect School, which I most likely someday will do a video on all the Goosebumps episodes and where they came from, be it by book or be it by Choose Your Own Scare. Sadly, freaking Perfect School was a Choose Your Own Scare book. So Perfect Brother is something completely different as well, but of course they have a twist ending even crazier than the Perfect School, especially if you watch the episode. And technically, it's kind of like the twist ending is kind of like what happened with Let's Get Invisible as well, along with what happened to My Best Friend's Invisible, and there's like a few other ones that most likely like the same exact crap. But anyways, you have Josh, and he always knew that Matt was the perfect son in the family, and he becomes a star and stuff, while Josh thinks his parents expose many things to the stream, take things to the stream. It was revealed at the end that Matt was actually a freaking robot, and his warranty has inspired, causing lots of bizarre changes. So they replaced Josh, and yeah, and they find out that Matt wasn't the experiment. And as Josh was shipped away, his parents. So basically, you have Josh, who you figured was a robot, which he is, and the family is a normal family. And Matt's there. But it turns out that Josh is actually the normal human. Matt is the robot. So it turns out that in the end, Josh finds out that Matt was an experiment, and Josh was about to be shipped away. His parents told him that they were robots as well, and he was the experiment. This is not what happened. Yeah, I'm kind of going along with Wikipedia, but I'm kind of doing what I remember as well. No, it wasn't that. It was more the fact of they said the human was defective. Yeah, we need to send him away and get a new one. Yeah, that was the worst part. I was like, oh, jeez, damn. Of course, we got this last one. It's a two-parter. It's freaking Scary Mary, which, of course, you know, Candyman. You have Freddy Krueger. Did Freddy Krueger get his own? I think he might have. You had Candyman, you had Beetlejuice, you had Bloody Mary, and that's what basically what happened. But this one's, yeah, it's the same thing. It's the same exact thing. But anyway, so what happened with Scary Mary, which they added some crazy stuff to the twist, is that you have Hannah is convinced that her friends into chanting the Scary Mary poem into the mirror before telling the legend. And there once was a girl named Mary who was obsessed with her looks, and people loved people making themselves look beautiful. She lived in a farmhouse, and she was a very lonely girl. One day the farmhouse caught on fire and she was burned to death. To this, she waited for someone to chant her name so she can take their face. That's right, take their face and become beautiful again. Kind of like what happened with Haunted Mask, just a little tiny bit. Kind of a little teeny tiny bit. But anyways, so days later, Hannah is convinced that Scary Mary has contacted her by leaving a compact hairbrush marked with the letter M. That night, Hannah applies the makeup products while brushing her hair with the M brush, not knowing that there are masked girls inside her mirror waiting to take her. Seconds later, the girls break through the mirror, and pull her in, trapping her in the world of Scary Mary. Now, if you were like me, you basically get screwed over, and you're like, holy frick, holy frick, holy frick, holy frick. Yeah, and then you have to wait 1 week to find out what happens. So, in the second part of this, while in Scary Mary's world, Hannah refuses to be like everyone else who has given their face to Mary, leaving themselves faceless. Mary uses the faces to disguise herself as one of them, hoping that a boy will come to the rescue the girl and take out Mary out of her world, but nobody ever came. Hannah's friend Eric comes to save her and finds Mary with her face, but realizes that it's not her. Mary's farmhouse was set on fire, representing what had killed her. Eric finds the real Hannah, brings her back to the real world by going into the river of Mary's tears. And at the end, Mary calls out for Eric from the mirror. That was funny. That was a funny twist ending. That was funny. I didn't see that coming. He's like, my beautiful. It's like, oh my gosh. Like 3 seconds of my beautiful. It's like, oh frick. Oh man. So that's kind of funny. The fact that in this one, which Perfect Brother was weird. Perfect Brother technically could have been Goosebumps, but I guess it fits in a haunted hour because, well, they try to make their name for themselves and they're trying to establish what they do, and sure, that can fit in. Did I talk about the other thing? Did I talk about the other one? Lights Out. Lights Out was crazy as hell. Pool Shark, it was okay. Pool Shark was okay. I mean, got to know the Hawaiian culture, and that's cool. We always need to make sure that Hawaiian culture stays a part of Hawaii and not whatever people keep on saying, the fact that they got decile or some kind of crap. But anyways, Scary Mary was like the craziest part. And I guess the real crazy part is the fact of if the freaking boyfriends or whatever would have looked for their girlfriends, they would be in their arms right now. Either that or they would have been tricked by Mary, and now Mary's safe while all the girl or the girl that gave away her face will be still there crying and crap. Well, technically, if you think about it, if you find some sick weirdo who likes to have people who are like weird looking, then you have that sick weirdo getting married, and everyone else can actually get freed as well. And yeah, you basically have the delusion of the sick weirdo. He's just saying, "You're beautiful as you are, Mary. You don't have to wear someone else's face. Your beautiful burns bring out even more beauty than your face ever did." It's like, yeah, you found some sick weirdo to freaking just tell her that crap, then everyone would have most likely have been freed, or at least they would have found some. The guys would actually have found her or something. But anyways, I think the girls that are in there, not knowing if she actually got them like within years or decades or centuries. So that's the weird part. It's like we don't know if in Scary Mary's world their age never happens. They didn't age. The fact that they stay young. So there's so many that came from like the 1800s and 1700s and 1900s where it's like, wow, you guys are still young even though you should be like 50 years old or something. But anyways, this is season 1 of Haunted Hour, and you see what I mean by how good it is. So thank you for watching, and stay tuned for season 2.